Have you ever felt your emotions taking control, dragging you down when you needed strength the most? That moment when anger flares, doubt creeps in, or fear paralyzes your every move. Have you ever wished you could just step back and take charge? Imagine if, instead of being tossed around by every feeling, you could stand tall, unshaken, even when the storm of your own mind rages. Imagine a mind so strong that it doesn't just survive challenges, it turns them into fuel, into power, into clarity. That isn't a dream. It's something you can train for, something you can build, and it starts with one simple, undeniable truth. Your mind is not your emotions, and with practice, it can become stronger than them. Right now, think about the moments in your life when you didn't act because fear whispered too loudly. Think about the times self-doubt held you back from saying what you wanted, from taking the step you knew you needed. Each time that happened, it wasn't because you lacked ability. It wasn't because you were weak. It was because your emotions were leading and your mind hadn't yet been trained to guide. But here's the good news. You can change that. You can build a mind that chooses your actions even when your heart screams otherwise. A mind that stands firm, that focuses, that moves forward with deliberate power. This is not about suppressing your emotions. This is not about ignoring your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about understanding them, observing them, and then using the incredible power of your mind to decide how you will respond. Picture it like this. Emotions are waves, strong and unpredictable, and your mind is the steady ship. You can't stop the waves, but you can navigate through them. You can direct yourself toward calm waters. You can stay on course even when the sea is wild. And when your mind becomes stronger than your emotions, the possibilities are limitless. You can face confrontation without fear. You can pursue goals without hesitation. You can rise every time life knocks you down because nothing can derail the clarity and strength you've cultivated inside. By staying with me through this journey, you will learn not just to manage your feelings, but to transform them into a source of resilience. You will discover techniques backed by psychology that sharpen focus, amplify courage, and build mental endurance. You will see that every emotion, even the ones that feel like obstacles, can become a tool for growth when met with the right mindset. And by the end, you will not only understand the principles, but you will be equipped to start applying them immediately, turning knowledge into action and action into unshakable inner strength. So ask yourself, are you ready to stop being ruled by fear, doubt, and anger? Are you ready to feel the power of a mind that doesn't just react, but chooses, creates, and conquers? Because what you are about to discover is not just a way to survive your emotions, it's a way to rise above them, to take control, and to become the strongest version of yourself. Keep listening, because the path to that transformation begins here, and every second you invest now is a step toward a life where you lead, not your feelings, but your mind. Every time your emotions surge, there's a choice hidden in that moment, a chance to take control before they control you. It's in the split second when doubt whispers or fear presses down that the strongest minds make their mark. You don't have to wait for courage to appear naturally. Courage is not something you are born with. It's something you cultivate, something you summon with deliberate thought and relentless practice. Your mind is capable of extraordinary discipline, capable of standing firm while the body trembles, while the heart races, while the world seems to demand that you bend. But it starts with awareness, noticing the tug of your emotions, naming them, feeling them, and then deciding how to respond. This simple act, the act of noticing, is the first crack in the wall that separates you from ultimate mental strength. Every emotion you feel has a rhythm, a pattern, a signal. Anger flares when you feel threatened. Fear tightens when you step into the unknown. Doubt creeps in when your vision of the future is clouded. Most people let these signals dictate their actions, surrendering control without realizing it. But what if you treated them differently? What if you trained your mind to pause, to breathe, to observe these signals as information rather than commands? What if every surge of emotion became an opportunity, a trigger to exercise strength instead of a cue to react? The science is clear. Mindfulness, intentional focus, and repeated mental practice reshape the brain. You can literally rewire your responses. You can create pathways where your mind steps in as the calm, decisive force, directing your life with clarity, not chaos. Think about the relief, the freedom, the quiet power that comes when you are no longer a hostage to your own feelings. Imagine walking into a situation where fear used to paralyze you and instead feeling a steady, unwavering focus. Picture yourself making choices rooted in logic, in strategy, in long-term growth, while others are trapped in the turbulence of emotion. That is the reward of mental training. That is what awaits when you refuse to let every surge of emotion dictate your behavior. Your emotions become allies, not enemies. They give you energy to act, to refine your focus, to sharpen your resolve, but only if your mind is strong enough to lead the way. This isn't about suppressing what you feel. It's about mastering it. Every great thinker, every leader, every person who has achieved the impossible has learned this lesson. They have faced storms inside their minds, storms of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, and they didn't flinch. They learned to step back, to harness the intensity of their emotions, and to transform it into action. And that's exactly what you can do. You can train your mind to observe without being consumed, to measure without being controlled, to act without hesitation, and to create a life built on intentional strength rather than reactive chaos. Start imagining that life now. Feel the calm power of a mind that chooses its path. Feel the confidence of knowing you can respond to anger without being angry, face fear without freezing, move forward when doubt tries to stop you. That is the life that awaits, not somewhere in a distant future, but the one that begins the moment you decide to take control. Every moment you feel your emotions rising, see it as a training ground. Every heartbeat of fear is a chance to practice mastery, and each time you succeed, your mind grows stronger, sharper, unshakable. This is not a theory. This is a promise. The power to rise above, the power to choose, and the power to become stronger than anything your emotions can throw at you. Your mind becomes powerful the moment you stop giving your emotions the steering wheel. Every time you feel overwhelmed, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a signal that your mind needs exercise. Mental strength is built the same way physical strength is built, through repetition, discipline, and conscious effort. You wouldn't expect a muscle to grow stronger without consistent training, without deliberate resistance. The same principle applies to your mind. Each time you pause before reacting, each time you take a breath before giving in to fear, anger, or frustration, you are strengthening the most vital muscle you have. Every moment of awareness adds a layer of resilience, and each act of self-control compounds into an unshakable foundation. It starts with recognizing the triggers that make your emotions surge. Notice when impatience flares, when anxiety creeps, when doubt clouds your vision. Observe these moments without judgment. This alone begins the transformation. You are creating a space between feeling and action, a space where your mind can step in and choose wisely. Science tells us that this space is where true power lives. In that pause, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are a commander of your inner world. The stronger you make that pause, the less control your emotions have over your decisions. The longer and deeper you can hold it, the more freedom you gain to act with clarity, purpose, and courage. Every day presents opportunities to exercise this strength. A harsh comment, a sudden fear, a wave of self-doubt. These are not obstacles. They are invitations to train. When the urge to react spikes, resist it. Feel the discomfort, embrace it. Your mind grows stronger when you practice resisting automatic reactions. Anger can be redirected into focus. Frustration can be converted into persistence. Fear can be transformed into preparation. Every emotion contains energy. The mind simply decides how it will be used. The reward is not just control, it is empowerment. Every time you choose wisely, you gain confidence. Every time you act with deliberate clarity, you reinforce a cycle of strength that cannot be broken by fleeting emotions. Imagine the freedom of walking through life knowing that nothing inside you has the power to derail your focus. Imagine the confidence of approaching challenges with calm assurance, knowing that your mind will lead, not your impulses. That freedom is addictive. That power becomes self-perpetuating. The more you exercise your mental discipline, the easier it becomes to remain centered, even when life throws chaos your way. And that is the essence of mental mastery, the ability to face the world unshaken, to act decisively, to pursue your goals relentlessly, no matter the storm of feelings trying to pull you off course. Every surge of emotion is a test, a chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you realize. Each time you succeed, your neural pathways reinforce the truth that you are in control. that your mind can rise above, that strength is not external, it is cultivated within. This is not theory, it is action. It is practice. It is the deliberate shaping of your most important tool, your mind. Embrace every opportunity to pause, to resist, to focus, to choose, and watch as a life you thought was shaped by circumstance becomes a life shaped by intention, by courage, and by the unwavering strength of a mind trained to lead. Discipline is the bridge between your emotions and your true potential. Every time you act from impulse, you surrender a piece of your power. Every time you pause, breathe, and decide, you reclaim it. Your mind becomes an instrument of strength when it is practiced, when it is exercised, when it is challenged. You must treat your mental focus like a muscle that demands attention, repetition, and resistance. The discomfort you feel when holding back a reaction, when questioning the instinct to lash out or withdraw it, is the exact force that builds resilience. That tension, that resistance is not a barrier. It is the gym where your mind grows stronger than any emotional storm could ever hope to overpower. Understand this. Emotions are temporary, fleeting, and often deceptive. They feel urgent, they feel real, and they demand attention, but they are not the ultimate authority. Your thoughts, your decisions, your capacity to respond deliberately, these are what shape the trajectory of your life. The stronger you train your mind, the more you realize that the intensity of emotion does not equal the necessity of reaction. Anger, fear, sadness, excitement, they are all signals, not commands. You can feel them fully, acknowledge them, and still choose to act from strength, not surrender. Each deliberate choice rewires your brain, creating pathways of clarity and control that become easier to access over time. The more you practice, the less you are swayed by transient feelings. The more you practice, the more power you reclaim. Every moment of hesitation, every conscious pause is a moment of victory. When you resist the pull of instant gratification, when you refuse to be hijacked by emotion, you are training your mind to lead. You are teaching yourself that discomfort is not a threat. It is a signal, a teacher, a guide. You are proving to yourself that you are not defined by what you feel, but by how you act in spite of what you feel. That is freedom. That is strength. That is the kind of mental mastery that transforms lives. Once your mind becomes stronger than your emotions, challenges that once seemed insurmountable become opportunities. Fear becomes preparation. Anger becomes focus. Doubt becomes fuel. Every emotion, once a hurdle, is now a tool to sculpt the life you desire. Imagine waking each day with a quiet certainty that nothing inside you can derail your path. Imagine feeling the surge of temptation, fear, or frustration, and meeting it with calm clarity, with deliberate choice, with unwavering focus. That life is not reserved for a chosen few. It is available to anyone willing to practice, willing to pause, willing to resist, willing to observe and choose. Your mind can become unshakable. Your actions can become intentional. Your life can become guided not by the chaos of emotion, but by the power of conscious choice. Every thought you direct, every reaction you control, every moment you choose awareness over impulse is a victory. Each one compounds into a foundation of resilience that no external circumstance can topple. This is the path to becoming stronger than your emotions, relentless practice, unwavering attention, and the courage to act with intentionality. The storms of life will come, the waves of feeling will rise, but with a mind trained to lead, you will navigate them all. You will not only survive, you will thrive. You will not only endure, you will rise. And every time you exercise this power, you are proving without question that your mind is capable of far more than you ever believed possible. Your mind is the ultimate weapon, and it becomes sharper the more you choose to wield it consciously. Every time you allow emotions to dictate your actions, you hand over your power. Every time you choose awareness, you reclaim it. Strengthening your mind is not about eliminating emotions. It is about creating mastery over them. You cannot stop the rush of fear, the surge of anger, the pull of desire, but you can decide how to respond. That decision, that conscious choice, is the birthplace of real freedom. It is the moment when you step out of chaos and step into control, the moment when your life becomes governed not by impulse, but by intention. Consider how many opportunities are lost each day to emotional hijack, how many dreams are delayed because fear whispered too loudly, How many relationships falter because anger spoke before understanding? Every time you react without pause, you sacrifice clarity. Every time you pause, you reclaim it. The mind has an incredible capacity to observe, analyze, and act strategically, but only if you allow it the space to do so. When you train yourself to step back, to breathe, to acknowledge the feelings surging inside without surrendering to them, you are strengthening neural pathways of control. You are building a mental muscle that grows stronger every time you resist automatic reactions, every time you choose deliberate thought over impulsive emotion. Imagine the power of living a life where no emotion can unseat your focus. Imagine facing fear without freezing, speaking your truth without hesitation, acting with integrity even when provoked. That is not a distant fantasy. It is the natural result of consistent mental training. Each pause you take, each moment you resist the pull of emotion, compounds into a habit of strength. And as habits of strength form, you gain a momentum that cannot be stopped. Challenges that once felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become opportunities to demonstrate resilience. Every emotional wave you face becomes a chance to refine your skill, to deepen your mastery, and to solidify the unshakable control of your mind. Your mind can transform emotion from a chain into a tool. Anger can fuel focus. Fear can sharpen awareness. Doubt can illuminate preparation. The energy that once scattered your attention now becomes power you direct consciously. The clarity that comes from this mastery is intoxicating. It is not merely a state of calm. It is a state of readiness, a heightened awareness, a mental strength that allows you to navigate life with purpose and precision. The world may push against you. Circumstances may be chaotic, but your mind, trained and disciplined, becomes your constant anchor. Every time you notice a surge of emotion and choose control, you are rewiring your brain, you are proving your strength, and you are expanding your potential. This is the essence of mental mastery, transforming fleeting impulses into deliberate action, transforming internal turbulence into focused energy, transforming the ordinary into extraordinary. When you achieve this level of control, you are no longer at the mercy of your feelings. You are the master of your inner world. And from that mastery, you can create a life defined by clarity, courage, and unstoppable momentum, where every decision is intentional, every action is empowered, and every moment is yours to command. Every time you give your mind permission to lead, you take a step closer to unshakable strength. The emotions that once controlled your decisions no longer have the final word. Every moment of pause, every breath taken before reacting is a deliberate act of empowerment. You are building a mental resilience that becomes stronger with repetition, that grows sharper with focus, and that transforms every challenge into an opportunity for growth. The mind is a muscle, and your emotions are resistance. It is the friction between the two that forges true power. The more you practice this, the less likely you are to be thrown off course and the more capable you become of acting with precision, confidence, and clarity. Emotions are intense, but they are also fleeting. They feel urgent, overwhelming, and undeniable, yet they are temporary currents. If you allow them to dictate your choices, you surrender long-term control for a momentary feeling. But when your mind steps in as a decisive force, you reclaim that control. You learn to ride the waves rather than be swallowed by them. Every surge of anger, every twinge of fear, every whisper of doubt becomes a signal, a tool, a marker to practice mastery. You can feel deeply, react mindfully, and still take purposeful action. The power comes not from ignoring what you feel, but from learning to move with it, through it, and beyond it. When you begin exercising this mental control consistently, the effect is profound. You stop reacting to every impulse, and you start choosing responses that align with your goals, your values, and your higher purpose. Each controlled reaction strengthens your neural pathways, reinforces your ability to focus, and sharpens your capacity to act decisively under pressure. You begin to notice a shift. Situations that once triggered panic now invite calm analysis. Moments that would have prompted retreat now demand strategic action. Life does not become easier, but you become stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to navigate whatever comes your way. Consider the inner freedom that comes from this mastery. You are no longer at the mercy of fleeting feelings. You are no longer held hostage by fear, doubt, or frustration. You gain the ability to act with intention, to make choices rooted in clarity, rather than chaos. Every time you resist the pull of emotion, every time you step back and decide deliberately, you reinforce a cycle of strength and confidence that compounds over time. That cycle grows until it becomes second nature, until your mind instinctively steps forward before your emotions can take control, until you operate from a place of power rather than reaction. This power transforms every aspect of your life. It gives you clarity in decision-making, courage in action, and resilience in the face of adversity. You can harness emotions rather than be harnessed by them. You can use the energy they provide to propel yourself forward, to sharpen your focus, to ignite persistence. Every heartbeat of fear can become a call to action. Every pulse of anger can become fuel for determination. Every flicker of doubt can become a reminder to prepare, to strengthen, and to rise above. The mind trained in this way is unstoppable, capable of guiding you through any storm, through any challenge, and into the life you were meant to claim with clarity, courage, and unshakable strength. Every moment you allow your mind to lead is a moment you step into power. The emotions that once hijacked your decisions no longer have control over your actions. Anger, fear, doubt. They are no longer barriers, but signals that your mind can interpret and redirect. Each surge of feeling becomes an opportunity to demonstrate mastery, to practice resilience, and to reinforce the truth that strength is a choice, not a circumstance. You are not powerless. You are not a passenger in the vehicle of your life. You are the driver, and every deliberate decision you make strengthens your control, sharpens your focus, and fuels your courage. Emotions demand attention because they are designed to protect, to warn, to signal. But protection does not mean reaction. Awareness does not mean surrender. The difference between being controlled and being powerful is the ability to pause, to notice, and to act with intention. Every time you choose clarity over instinct, every time you act from thought rather than feeling, you train your mind to respond with precision. You create a neural pathway that grows stronger each time you resist automatic impulses. You prove to yourself over and over that you can be steady in chaos, calm in conflict, and focused under pressure. That repetition, that discipline is how mental strength is forged. Imagine the freedom of existing in a state where fear no longer dictates your boundaries, where doubt does not cloud your vision, where anger does not force you into reaction. That is not a distant possibility. It is the natural consequence of practice, awareness, and deliberate choice. The more you exercise the ability to pause and respond consciously, the less your emotions control you and the more they serve you. Anger can become motivation. Fear can become clarity. Frustration can become fuel. Every emotion, once a source of vulnerability, transforms into a source of strength when met with a mind trained to lead. Every challenge, every moment of discomfort is a chance to prove your strength. When your emotions rise, resist the urge to act immediately. Notice the sensation, name it, and decide how it will influence your behavior. This simple practice is a powerful tool, one that reshapes your brain, rewires your responses, and builds a foundation of unshakable resilience. Each time you succeed, your confidence grows, your focus sharpens, and your capacity to handle even greater challenges increases. Over time, this becomes a rhythm, a natural state of being, where your mind governs and your emotions support rather than dictate. The ultimate reward is control. Not control over circumstances, not control over others, but control over yourself. A mind trained to rise above emotion equips you to face any situation with clarity, courage, and deliberate action. You become unstoppable, not because life becomes easier, but because your capacity to respond grows stronger than any obstacle. Each heartbeat of fear becomes a signal to act wisely. Each flicker of doubt becomes a call to reinforce your preparation. Each surge of frustration becomes energy for persistence. This is the power of a mind stronger than emotion, a power that transforms weakness into resilience, reaction into intention, and ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities for growth, mastery, and unshakable strength. Every thought you allow to guide you, every moment you act with intention instead of impulse, strengthens the fortress of your mind. The emotions that once threatened to control you now serve as markers, signals to practice patience, focus, and deliberate action. You are learning to stand firm in the presence of discomfort, to remain unshaken when fear tries to push you back, to move forward when doubt tries to stall you. This is not weakness. This is not avoidance. This is mastery. Every time you notice an emotional surge and choose clarity, you are proving to yourself that you are stronger than what you feel. You are shaping a mind that leads, a mind that commands, a mind that cannot be easily disrupted. Emotions are powerful, but they are designed to be brief, to react, to warn. They are not designed to dictate your life. When you begin to recognize them as signals instead of commands, you unlock an inner freedom few ever experience. Fear is no longer a wall. It is a prompt to prepare, to act wisely. Anger is no longer a chain. It is energy to direct toward constructive action. Frustration is no longer a roadblock. It is a signal to focus, to refine, to push harder. This is how power is built, not by avoiding feelings, not by denying them, but by using them intelligently with the mind firmly in control. The stronger your mental discipline, the more you realize that your emotions are allies, not adversaries. Every time you exercise control, you are creating a new standard for yourself. You are teaching your brain to pause, to observe, to choose. Each controlled reaction reinforces the habit of conscious action. Each moment you act deliberately strengthens your capacity to face greater challenges. Life is full of unpredictable circumstances, of people, pressures, and situations that would overwhelm a mind led by impulse. But when you train yourself to rise above immediate feelings, to act with purpose, you become unshakable. You create a mental rhythm that carries you steadily, calmly, and powerfully through any storm. The freedom that comes from this mastery is transformative. No longer are you a hostage to fleeting impulses. No longer are you at the mercy of fear, doubt, or irritation. Instead, you have a mind that directs your actions, a mind that filters emotion through wisdom and intention. You gain the ability to act decisively, to respond with clarity, and to pursue your highest goals without hesitation. The energy that once scattered you is now focused. The turbulence that once derailed you is now a tool, and the challenges that once intimidated you are now opportunities to demonstrate strength. This is the true essence of mental training, transforming emotional intensity into deliberate action, chaos into clarity, reaction into mastery. Every heartbeat of fear, every flicker of anger, every moment of doubt becomes a signal to practice strength, to exercise control, and to reinforce the unshakable command of your mind. Over time, this practice compounds into a force so powerful that you no longer simply survive challenges. You thrive through them. You no longer react, you lead. You no longer follow the currents of feeling, you shape them. This is the life of a mind stronger than emotions, focused, resilient, and unstoppable, capable of turning every inner storm into a source of power and momentum that drives you forward into every goal, every dream, and every ambition you choose to claim. Every surge of emotion is an invitation to demonstrate strength, to practice mastery, and to reinforce the control you have over your own mind. The energy that once pulled you in every direction can now be harnessed, directed, and transformed into deliberate action. Fear, doubt, frustration, they are not obstacles. They are signals, markers along the path of growth, tests of your ability to rise above, to pause, to choose consciously. Every time you meet these moments with awareness instead of reaction, you are strengthening the foundation of your mental power, building a resilience that no circumstance, no challenge, no external pressure can shake. Understand that emotions are temporary. They feel urgent, overwhelming, and inescapable, but they pass. Your mind, however, can remain steady if trained. By pausing, observing, and deciding deliberately, you create a buffer between feeling and reaction. That buffer is your freedom. That buffer is your power. Every time you resist the pull of instant reaction, you teach your mind that it is the authority, that clarity can dominate chaos, that thought can outlast feeling. Over time, this becomes automatic. Your mind learns to step in naturally, to act with precision, and to guide your life with purpose, no matter how intense the emotional storm around you. Every moment of discipline compounds. Each pause before reaction, each conscious decision strengthens neural pathways of focus, control, and resilience. These pathways become habitual, creating a mental framework that carries you steadily through challenges that would have once overwhelmed you. You stop being reactive. You start being deliberate. Anger becomes a tool for clarity. Fear becomes a catalyst for preparation. Doubt becomes a signal for deeper focus. You are no longer driven by what you feel. You are guided by what you choose. That is freedom. That is mastery. That is a mind stronger than your emotions. Imagine waking each day with the confidence that no feeling, however intense, can derail your focus. Imagine confronting fear without hesitation, making decisions without being clouded by doubt, and responding to challenges without being pulled off course by anger or frustration. That is the reality that comes from consistent mental training. Every emotional spike becomes an opportunity to practice, every moment of discomfort becomes a gym for your mind, and every act of deliberate choice compounds your strength. Over time, this becomes a rhythm, a natural state where your mind governs and your emotions support, rather than disrupt, your life. The power of this mastery extends far beyond momentary control. It transforms your perception of the world. You stop seeing emotions as threats and start seeing them as energy to redirect. You stop fearing discomfort and start using it to grow stronger. You stop reacting to every impulse and start responding from a place of clarity and strength. Each heartbeat of fear, each flicker of doubt, each rush of frustration becomes an opportunity to prove your resilience, to exercise your control, and to reinforce your unshakable mental foundation. The mind trained in this way is unstoppable, capable of navigating any challenge, withstanding any pressure, and transforming every inner storm into momentum that drives you forward relentlessly toward the life you choose to claim. Every time you allow your mind to step forward, you are reclaiming the control that emotions have tried to steal from you. Every surge of anger, every flash of fear, every whisper of doubt is not a command. It is a signal, a prompt to exercise strength, awareness, and deliberate action. Your mind becomes powerful, not by avoiding these feelings, but by learning to guide them. Each pause you take before reacting, each conscious choice you make in the face of emotional intensity, builds a resilience that compounds over time. The discipline you practice now becomes the foundation for unshakable mental strength that no external force can undermine. Emotions are fleeting, but the power of a trained mind is lasting. They demand attention, they feel urgent, they feel overwhelming, but they are not the ultimate authority. When you begin to observe them without surrendering to them, you create a space where choice exists. That space is freedom. That space is strength. Every moment you act deliberately rather than reactively strengthens neural pathways that make focus, clarity, and resilience easier to access in the future. Your mind becomes a force that responds with precision, even under pressure, even when the emotional currents are strong. This practice transforms how you interact with life itself. Situations that once triggered panic, hesitation, or anger now become opportunities to demonstrate control. Each emotional spike becomes a chance to pause, breathe, and act with intention. The energy that once scattered you now becomes fuel. The turbulence that once disrupted you now becomes a tool. Fear, once immobilizing, now sharpens awareness. Anger, once destructive, now ignites focus. Frustration, once a roadblock, now drives persistence. Every surge of emotion becomes an instrument in your hands, a resource to harness rather than a force to resist. The impact of this mastery extends into every part of your life. You gain the ability to respond calmly under pressure, to make decisions rooted in clarity rather than impulse, and to act with courage even when doubt presses in. Every deliberate action reinforces the belief that you are stronger than your feelings, that your mind is the ultimate authority, and that your choices define your path. Over time, this transforms from a practice into a state of being where the mind naturally governs and emotions serve to enhance rather than hinder your growth. The freedom gained from this discipline is profound. You are no longer hostage to fleeting impulses. You are no longer ruled by fear, doubt, or anger. You act from power, clarity, and intention. Every heartbeat of fear, every flicker of doubt, every wave of frustration becomes a signal to exercise mastery, to strengthen control, and to reinforce your unshakable foundation. The mind trained in this way is unstoppable, capable of navigating chaos with calm precision, capable of turning emotional turbulence into momentum, capable of creating a life where every choice is deliberate, every action is powerful, and every moment is an opportunity to demonstrate the strength, resilience, and unshakable power of a mind that has been trained to rise above emotion. Every moment your mind asserts control, you step into a level of power few ever experience. Emotions will rise, fear will surge, doubt will whisper, anger will flare. But when your mind has been trained to lead, these feelings no longer dictate your path. They become indicators, signals to pause, to assess, and to act with intention. Every deliberate choice you make in these moments strengthens your mental resilience, reinforces your focus, and builds a confidence that cannot be shaken by the chaos of feeling. Each act of control compounds, creating a mind that is steady, sharp, and unshakable. The truth is, your emotions are designed to react. They are brief, urgent, and meant to protect. But reacting is not the same as leading. To lead, you must pause, observe, and decide. That pause, that deliberate space, is where freedom exists. It is where power exists. Every time you step into that space and make a conscious choice, you train your brain to operate from clarity instead of impulse. You are teaching yourself that thought can outlast feeling, that action can be deliberate, and that no emotion has the authority to dictate the trajectory of your life. Over time, this becomes instinctive. The mind steps forward naturally, and you respond with precision, purpose, and unwavering strength. This training transforms every interaction, every challenge, every decision. Situations that once triggered panic or hesitation now become opportunities to demonstrate mastery. Emotional intensity, instead of being a source of weakness, becomes a resource for strength. Fear sharpens your awareness. Anger fuels your focus. Frustration drives your persistence. The energy that once scattered you now channels through the disciplined mind. You are no longer carried by the waves of feeling. You are navigating them, directing them, transforming them into momentum that propels you forward. The freedom that comes from this mastery is life-changing. You are no longer controlled by fleeting impulses. You are no longer hostage, fear, doubt, or irritation. You act from power, clarity, and intention. Every heartbeat of fear, every flicker of doubt, every wave of frustration becomes an opportunity to exercise strength, reinforce control, and deepen your resilience. The mind that has been trained in this way is unstoppable. It can navigate chaos with calm precision. It can transform emotional turbulence into focus. It can turn challenge into opportunity. Every choice becomes intentional. Every action becomes empowered. And every moment becomes a chance to demonstrate unshakable mental strength. Your emotions, once obstacles, now serve you. They provide energy to harness, awareness to sharpen, and insight to guide. By consistently practicing this mental discipline, you reshape the way you engage with life itself. The mind becomes the leader, and the emotions become allies, supporting your clarity, amplifying your focus, and fueling your progress. This is the essence of mental mastery, transforming reaction into intention, turbulence into momentum, and fleeting feeling into enduring power. Each time you act consciously in the presence of emotion, you are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just enduring, you are rising. You are building a mind that is stronger than your emotions, a mind capable of creating the life you choose with clarity, courage, and unstoppable momentum. Every surge of emotion is a test of your strength, a signal to rise above, and an invitation to exercise control. The moment anger spikes, fear tightens, or doubt whispers, you have a choice: react and surrender power, or pause and reclaim it. Each time you choose the latter, you are not simply resisting, you are building an unshakable mind. You are training yourself to respond with clarity, to act with intention, and to transform the energy of emotion into a force that propels you forward. Every deliberate decision strengthens your resilience, sharpens your focus, and reinforces the truth that your mind is stronger than any feeling that passes through it. Emotions are designed to grab attention, to warn, to protect, but they are not designed to govern your life. The more you practice observing them without immediate reaction, the more you create space to choose wisely. That space is freedom. That space is power. Every pause you take before acting is a signal to your brain that thought leads, that reason guides, and that impulse no longer dictates your trajectory. The more you exercise this pause, the more instinctive it becomes. Your mind steps forward naturally, decisively, without hesitation, even under pressure. The chaos of feeling no longer controls you. It becomes fuel for focus, energy for action, and clarity for decision. Every challenge you face becomes a proving ground. Emotional intensity, once overwhelming, now becomes an ally. Fear sharpens awareness, anger energizes purpose, frustration drives determination. The energy that once scattered you now flows through the disciplined mind, transforming turbulence into momentum. You are no longer reactive, you are deliberate. You are no longer drifting, you are steering. The world may push against you, situations may become intense, but your trained mind moves with precision, purpose, and unwavering control. Each moment of mastery compounds, building a mental strength that is both enduring and unstoppable. This freedom changes everything. You are no longer captive to fleeting impulses. You are no longer manipulated by fear, doubt, or irritation. You act from a place of power, clarity, and intentionality. Every heartbeat of fear, every flicker of doubt, every rush of frustration becomes an opportunity to practice resilience, reinforce control, and deepen your inner strength. The mind trained in this way is unstoppable. It navigates chaos with calm precision, converts emotional turbulence into focused action, and turns challenge into opportunity. Each choice becomes deliberate. Every action becomes empowered. Every moment becomes a platform for demonstrating unshakable mental power. The emotions you once feared now serve you. They become signals to harness, sources of energy to redirect, and tools to sharpen your awareness. By committing to consistent mental discipline, you reshape how you interact with life itself. The mind becomes the leader, and the emotions become allies, amplifying focus, strengthening resolve, and fueling purposeful action. This is the essence of true mental mastery, transforming reaction into intention, chaos into momentum, and fleeting feelings into enduring power. Each deliberate choice in the presence of emotion reinforces the unshakable truth that you are not defined by what you feel. You are defined by the strength of your mind and the clarity of your action, capable of creating a life fueled by courage, focus, and unstoppable momentum. Every thought you take control of, every pause you allow before reacting is a victory. The emotions that once hijacked your decisions no longer have the final say. Anger, fear, doubt, and frustration. These are no longer chains that hold you back. They are indicators, signals for you to step into clarity, to act with intention, and to harness the energy within them. Each deliberate choice you make in the face of emotion strengthens the foundation of your mental power. Every act of control compounds, building a mind that is steady, resilient, and unshakable, capable of navigating any storm with precision and focus. Emotions are intense, but they are temporary. They demand attention, they feel urgent, and they may even feel overwhelming. But intensity does not equal authority. When you learn to observe them, to name them, and to respond deliberately, you create a space where power resides. That space is freedom. That space is strength. Every pause before reaction reinforces the neural pathways that allow focus, clarity, and calm to dominate chaos. Over time, this practice becomes instinctive. Your mind steps forward naturally, guiding your actions with unwavering precision, turning emotional turbulence into energy, and transforming impulses into momentum. Every challenge becomes a training ground for mastery. Fear becomes a tool for heightened awareness. Anger becomes fuel for determination. Frustration becomes motivation to refine your focus. The energy that once scattered you now flows through the disciplined mind, amplifying clarity and strength. You are no longer reactive. You are deliberate. You are no longer drifting. You are steering. External pressures may rise, circumstances may intensify, but your mind, trained to lead, responds with steady power. Each intentional choice reinforces your resilience, fortifies your control, and deepens the certainty that you are stronger than any feeling that arises. This mastery transforms how you live every moment. You are no longer captive to fleeting impulses. You are no longer manipulated by fear, doubt, or irritation. You act from clarity, purpose, and strength. Every heartbeat of fear, every flicker of doubt, every wave of frustration becomes an opportunity to exercise discipline, demonstrate resilience, and reinforce the unshakable foundation of your mind. The mind that has been trained in this way is unstoppable. It navigates chaos with calm precision, turns emotional turbulence into focused action, and converts every challenge into opportunity. Every choice becomes intentional, every action becomes empowered, and every moment becomes a platform to demonstrate mental strength. Your emotions, once obstacles, now serve you. They provide energy to channel, awareness to sharpen, and insight to guide. Through consistent mental discipline, you reshape your engagement with life itself. The mind becomes a leader, and the emotions become allies, enhancing focus, amplifying resolve, and fueling deliberate action. This is the essence of mental mastery, transforming reaction into intention, chaos into momentum, and fleeting feelings into enduring power. Each deliberate choice strengthens your inner authority, proving time and again that you are not defined by what you feel, but by the strength of your mind, the clarity of your decisions, and the unstoppable momentum you create with every conscious action. Every time you choose to step back from immediate reaction, you are reclaiming control over your life. Every surge of anger, every whisper of fear, every flicker of doubt is no longer a command. It is a signal to exercise strength, focus, and deliberate choice. The energy that once scattered your attention now becomes fuel for clarity and action. Each conscious decision to act from reason rather than impulse strengthens your mind, reinforces your resilience, and deepens the unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you are stronger than any feeling that arises. You are training your mind to lead, and with every act of mastery, you are proving to yourself that freedom is not found outside. It is cultivated within. Emotions are intense, and they feel urgent because that is their design. Fear is designed to protect. Anger is designed to alert. Frustration is designed to prompt change. But they are not meant to govern your life. The difference between reacting and leading lies in the space you create between feeling and action. That space, that pause, is where your power resides. Each time you choose to observe, to acknowledge, and then act deliberately, you reinforce neural pathways that make focus, clarity, and calm more accessible. Over time, this practice becomes second nature. The mind steps forward instinctively, transforming the turbulence of emotion into energy for progress and momentum for growth. Every challenge, every moment of discomfort becomes an opportunity for mastery. Fear no longer immobilizes. It sharpens your awareness. Anger no longer destroys, it fuels your determination. Frustration no longer discourages, it drives persistence and refinement. The energy that once scattered you now channels through the disciplined mind, amplifying your focus and strengthening your resolve. You are no longer reactive. You are intentional. You are no longer adrift. You are steering. Life's pressures may rise, circumstances may intensify, but your trained mind responds with precision, clarity, and unwavering power. Each deliberate choice compounds your mental strength and deepens the certainty that you can handle whatever arises. This mastery transforms how you live. You are no longer captive to fleeting impulses. You are no longer ruled by fear, doubt, or irritation. You act from clarity, intention, and power. Every heartbeat of fear, every flicker of doubt, every wave of frustration becomes an opportunity to reinforce discipline, deepen resilience, and strengthen the foundation of your mind. The mind trained in this way is unstoppable. It navigates chaos with calm precision, converts emotional turbulence into focused action, and turns obstacles into opportunities. Every decision is intentional, every action is empowered, and every moment becomes a platform to demonstrate unshakable mental strength. Your emotions, once obstacles, now serve you. They are signals to harness, energy to channel, and insights to guide. By consistently practicing this discipline, you reshape how you engage with life. The mind becomes the leader, and emotions become allies, enhancing focus, sharpening resolve, and fueling deliberate action. This is the essence of true mental mastery, transforming reaction into intention, chaos into momentum, and fleeting feelings into enduring power. Each conscious choice reinforces your inner authority, proving again and again that you are not defined by what you feel, but by the strength of your mind, the clarity of your actions, and the unstoppable momentum you create with every deliberate decision.